What's up, guys? So today I have the coolest person possible that I'm just going to quick interview because I'm sure that you all have seen Anthony around. I think you probably have seen his before and after. And if you don't know, he's probably one of the most motivating people that I know. Also, luckily for me, one of my absolute best friends in the whole world. So I decided we're going to talk to him today. So, hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Very good. So we're gonna ask him a couple of questions about how he has gotten to like where he is now within his fitness journey and how that's helping him in every aspect of his life. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Well, I'm Anthony, as you've already explained. I take this?
Yeah.
Okay. Little about me. I was in the military for 11 years, as you know. I was a sniper in the military, so I guess I really kick-started forced fitness. Every morning you wake up at 6:30, you work out. So you stay in shape. You want to be the biggest, fastest, strongest person because when you go to combat, go to war, you really don't want your physical abilities to set you back. So
Physical ability setting you back there
yes, yeah,
probably means you're gonna die.
people die there. So when I got out 5 years ago, I really kind of struggled to figure out who I was and what I was doing because this is all I knew for so long, and I really got out of shape. I started my family. I am trying to work this normal lifestyle of these 9 to 5s and figuring things
Like
out. And
corporate job.
yeah, and I didn't prioritize what was important to me, which was, taking care of yourself. And if you take care of yourself, in turn, you make better decisions. You are able to put out better quality of work, which I've noticed. So it brings me to today. A year ago, I walked in here. It was in the wintertime, and I couldn't snowboard because I was out of shape enough where I love snowboarding. And getting my snowboard bindings on was such a struggle for me where one day I said, hey, if you're going to do the things you enjoy doing, you got to get yourself in a position to do them. Whereas I started my fitness journey.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, you're 100% right. If you want to do stuff that's fun and the things that are important to you, make you happy, you have to be in shape to do them. Like literally, I was putting like just cleaning up the yard because it's spring now. So just cleaning up the yard, and I'm coming off of an injury here, so it's like probably a little bit harder
Right.
than usual. And I'm like, holy crap, you have to be in shape to be able to do this stuff. Like walking up my hill, I was like winded. I'm like, oh my gosh. But, we're all a work in progress. I have a tiny, tiny excuse.
We're always working. Always working.
So, now what do you do now? What do you do for our company? If you guys didn't know, Anthony works with us here at Fitness RX, and he has a very special and particular role. Why don't you tell us about what you do with us here?
I took on the role here at Fitness RX as the operations manager. Now, with that entails kind of a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's hands off the training. We have our trainers, we have our coaches, we have our accountability coaches. But I mean, someone's got to oversee numbers, oversee members coming in, members going out, oversee the book. So I do that, but at the same time, I take part of my role very important, very serious as far as the accountability aspect of us leading by example. Now, what does that mean to me is if our members can come in and see me come in here and put the work in every single day, post my nutrition online, then it shows that we're not just a business. We're not just here to make money. Making money is always great, but at the same time, I think our goal is in this community to make people understand how like moving and being active is important and instilling these habits on our kids. Like for me, my kids, I want my kids to see that it's normal to exercise and it's normal to eat mostly healthy. Now, things are good in balance and moderation, so my kids want junk food or whatever, but they understand serving sizes already. They understand proteins on their plate. They understand like what's important to put in their bodies, and they understand that it's important to get outside and move or exercise. So
Yeah.
for me, my role here is I love getting to know the members. I think very family environment here. I really like this atmosphere a lot, which is why I took the job. I was like, absolutely, I would love to be here. But for me, it's showing everybody that what can be done, and it just takes a little commitment and consistency.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I picked out of that is like one of our core values here at Fitness RX is commitment to accountability. And literally, this guy absolutely embodies that. Like, I don't know anybody that's here more than you are. And we all work here, right? He's here all the time, meeting people, talking to them, getting to know them as people. Because as much as he might be in charge of numbers here, he doesn't see any of these people as a number. He like knows who people's family is and asks questions because we care about that stuff. And I think that sets you as an individual apart, and then it sets us apart a little bit there too. Just because it's not just exactly what you said. It's not just about the business aspect. So you do oversee the business, and then he oversees our relationships and how to build a rapport with people too. So I think that's really great. Now, you were talking about that commitment to accountability and leading by example. And you touched on really why that's important to your family. How about how that is important to you? Because I know you're a really big mental health advocate. So how does that, I guess, how does that play into like your thought process there? If you could explain that.
Okay. First, I'll start with answering this very simple, and I asked this myself a year ago. It is, what's one thing in anybody's daily routine or anybody's daily habits, or what's one thing that people can do that benefits them the most? What would your answer be?
I'm
Exercise.
biased. Yeah, I'm
Exercise.
biased because I would say
But I mean,
movement.
what are you getting the most out of everything that you could possibly do in a day? Like, what benefits you the most? And that moving your body
Yeah.
and exercise,
Yep.
right? You're gonna live a longer life.
Yep.
So my next question to myself was, why don't you do that more than anything else you do? If
It
that
was
helps you the most and benefits you the most, why are you not prioritizing that?
100%.
Okay, so that brings me into where I was at a few years ago. So getting out of the military is probably one of the hardest things I've done. I mean, going through my 11 years in the military and deploying overseas and fighting in war is difficult in its own aspect, but I think getting out is a lot harder
That's crazy.
than doing that. I think you become accustomed to what you're doing. You're trained for it. This is your job. This is your career. It's not as hard when you're there. When you get out, you have to figure things out. Hey, this is a lifestyle. This is its own world inside here. Getting out is honestly a lot harder because you're dealing with a different group of people. Your coworkers, your bosses, people that you're meeting, everyday civilians on the street. Everyone moves different.
Yeah.
Everyone moves different on the outside than they do on the inside. So, whether you dislike the way that people are as civilians, or you like the way they are, or vice versa, it doesn't matter. It's different.
Yeah.
There's a difference in it, and it makes it very difficult to make that your new norm.
Yeah.
So, as far as that battles your mental health is, you have your ups and downs every day of like you kind of miss what you were doing, but you don't miss it. At the same time, you're kind of dealing with, through the VA and going to therapy and things like that. And whatever you have to do to get your mind right, I'm an advocate. Like, get your mind right. But I've noticed that when I start my day with exercise, it kickstarts. I mean, your dopamine effect, right? Like we chase dopamine, however you get dopamine, your
Yeah.
body wants more all the time.
Yeah, whether you know it or not.
Right. So exercise is a huge dopamine producer. When I start my day with exercise, I'm able to output the best quality I can in everything else that I do that day, whether it's being a parent, whether it's my job, whether it's sending out my emails for the day, checking our numbers, checking our books, and whatever else I do, it just somehow is better than if I don't exercise. And I found that, and once I found that, there's no turning back. So I try to bring that to all of our members, how it affects me. I think everyone might be different, but for me, I start my day with exercise, and honestly, I end my day with exercise. So I start my day with some, and I end my day with some.
I
But
love that. And what kind of stuff on the outside do you do? Because you like obviously like to be outdoors. You talked about snowboarding. What other stuff do you do?
well, I play golf. I fish. We fish together.
Yeah, yeah.
I play a lot of golf. And I try to do a lot of community outreach with veterans in the community. I've noticed that certain states take care of veterans a little differently. I'm not discrediting New York State at all. There's so many veterans programs in New York State. They're just not visible, mainstream. They're not. They're,
It's a hunt
you
for
gotta
it.
hunt for it, and I've made it a mission for myself to put these resources out there, to mainstream these resources. So I try to get involved with the veteran centers in the community. We do some physical activity stuff. I have some friends on Facebook that we kind of motivate each other to keep working on exercising. I strap my military pack on sometimes, and I walk through
And
the
the
city.
boots.
And I walk through the city. Sometimes I walk here. You guys see me walking in
Yeah.
here with my boots and my ruck on. And we did a 12-mile road march last year for Veterans Day. We raised over $3,000 for
awesome.
a veterans group here in the area that helps out veterans in need, whether it's financial, education benefits, whatever they may need. And we had some members here in the gym that came and did it with us. So that's just promotes what this family atmosphere is, and that's another reason why I love it here. So.
Love that. Love that. Cool. Well, shoot. Okay, so now something that I found super interesting and like I've seen obviously in the last 10 years working in this industry is you were saying that how like your kids are growing up understanding that exercise is normal and portion sizes are normal, prioritizing protein is normal. What about people that grew up without that insight, like people that are say in their 30s 40s 50s now, they've lived 50 years thinking that exercise is just for like fitness nuts or people that are like athletes or bodybuilders, whatever. How can somebody that grew up in that kind of atmosphere tap into that like hidden dopamine release that you were talking about? Like what would you say like maybe your top 2 tips are for somebody that just didn't grow up like that?
Okay. Well, first, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up in a household very Italian. A lot of carbs, a lot of carbs, a lot of pasta. My nutrition wasn't super great growing up, and the only exercise I got was playing sports. I didn't grow up in an exercise as normal household at all. But for me, and what I tell people that I meet coming off the street, possibly a new member or someone that wants to come try to get started, honestly, the hardest part is finding that push for that first week. And that first week, you maybe get 3 exercises in, whether you go for a walk, go come in here, lift some weights, go for a walk, do something. You're going to be sore. You push through that first week. I noticed halfway through my second week, because I've stopped and started working out many times. You saw me my first few years out of the military. I'd come work out for a couple of months, and then I'm gone for 4 months. And then I'm coming back because I'm switching jobs, doing whatever I was doing. Hardest push is always that first week, week and a half. And at the end of the second week, you can move better. Mobility is different. So the challenge is to get yourself out the door. Get your foot out the door.
Yeah.
And once your feet touch the ground, you're awake, you're moving, you're already there. You might as well do it. It's going to hurt if you don't do it. It's going to hurt if you do it. But at least if you do it, you get benefits out of it, right?
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
So, that's what I say. It's going to hurt if you don't do it. Your body's going to hurt if you're not exercising. Your body's going to hurt, be a little sore if you do exercise. But if you do exercise, you get something out of it.
Yeah.
So you might as well have some pain and get something out of it.
The good stuff. Get the good thing out of it rather than it just being you're weak, out of breath.
That's right.
Like can't reach your toes, like all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's worse than just being a little bit sore.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to play with my kids into my 50s. I want to play with my children. I want to go outside and play their sports with them, teach them whatever sports they're signing up for, I want to do that with them, practice with them. You got to move to do it, though.
Yeah.
If we're not moving, if you don't move it, you lose it.
You're sitting in the lawn chair.
Yeah, I can't just watch it.
Good job, honey.
Yeah, I want to move with them.
I love that. So, no, that said, it's basically saying just get moving. You just have to start. That's the hardest part.
You just got to start. Whether you start maybe a 1 mile walk 2 times a week for the first couple of weeks, I guarantee you at the end of that second week, you're going to feel a little bit better than you did when you started. and then you can progress. I will say, don't jump all in. Don't just, let's go on a very strict diet and let's work out 6 times a week.
Because then you're gonna hate it.
You're going to hate it. You're going to hurt yourself first, set yourself back. So it's a crawl, walk, run phase, which we do very well here with our members. We do a little challenge with them before they become everyday members. They get through the challenge. We see where they are. We can assess. We can set goals for them. So it's a good program we have here.
Yeah, I love that. Now, that's for the exercise piece. What about the like nutrition and eating healthy, eating well? What would you say there?
Starting out, cutting out certain things. Now, don't just change your lifestyle. Changing your life is very hard. I think cut sugary drinks out. Good start.
That's
you know, sugary. Get Gatorade. A lot of people don't understand. They buy Gatorades because they think Gatorade's an everyday drink. You should be drinking this because Gatorade's a sports drink.
Yeah.
It's not. Gatorade was made to replenish your body after you lose a lot from vigorous activity.
Right, you have to do stuff first.
Gatorade is a replenishment drink. It's not a. It's a lot high in sugars, but
Not for funsies.
you burn a lot of sugars, so you got to replace some glucose, right?
Right,
And the
right.
electrolytes. You got to get some stuff back in. That's what Gatorade's made for. Gatorade's not made because it's better than soda, because it's not better than soda. It's just, it helps you when you need it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that just cut sugary drinks out of their lives, and they have a complete 180 lifestyle change. They look healthier, they feel better, and all they did without even exercising, they just cut sugary drinks out.
That's easy.
So little things like that, implement. Manage your takeout. Manage your takeout. Say, okay, I get takeout this many times a week. Next week, I'm going to cut that in half. We're going to eat dinner at home. We're going to have a protein on our plate. We're going to have a vegetable on our plate. Try that. Little things, little changes.
Little tiny ones.
Start new routines. But I think the first thing for me is cutting sugary drinks out was huge. It's huge for me.
Those are literally simple, free, everyday things that people can do, like, just at home, right?
Absolutely.
So, like, walking outside is free 2 times a week. That doesn't take too much time. You can even make it time bound. 15-minute walk 2 times a week. Boom. You could do that. Cut out the sugary drinks. That's easy, and it's actually saving you money, right? So, limiting takeout also saves you money and, like, time and effort. I love that. Those are literally simple things that anybody can do without, like, you don't even have to spend $1 to do it.
No, you save money doing it.
Yeah, you save money. Well, there you go. There's another thing that you can track is your expenses. That could also kind of motivate people to go start going in the right direction.
Absolutely.
My goodness, those are simple. So there you go, you guys. Start cutting out the sugary drinks. That's number 1. Number 2, start moving your body a little tiny bit, just walking, right? And then limit your takeout. Boom. There you go. 3 tips from a pro who's doing it himself. He's been through the ups and downs, obviously. Like, you guys will see the photos and whatnot. You've been through the ups and downs, and now you're on a really great upswing and doesn't want to stop.
That's right.
I love that. So, I love that. So, you gave us a great tip for people to start getting moving. But, like I said, Anthony is a huge mental health advocate. If you could, and you already answered this kind of, but if you could give somebody that is feeling down in the dumps, they're run down from their job, they're running around and their schedule is all screwed up because that's all they do is run around after other people. What else? Like, just like miserable. People that are miserable, right? And sad.
Yeah, been there.
What is literally your number 1 thing that you would suggest somebody could do for their mental health, for them specifically? What would that be?
Well, they say 30 minutes of sunlight is therapy. You see people doing a red light therapy inside their houses, but you'll see doctors that are saying, like, yeah, the red light therapy is true, but so is the natural sunlight is just as good, if not better. Honestly, sunlight for me is therapy. I'll spend all day on the golf course. I will play my 18 holes and then still stay there for like another hour after just to be outside watching people finish their games. I like to be outside, but honestly, for me, I like lifting weights more than I like doing like a lot of cardio stuff. So like for me, I come in, I lift some weights, I instantly feel better. Kickstarts my day. I go home, give my kids breakfast, I just have a great day after that. So for me, it's moving your body. Just move a little bit. If you have 30 minutes to watch a TV show, you have 30 minutes to make yourself 1% better every day.
Yeah. Well, there you go. In short, then, to sum all of this up, I think that Anthony is just a really great model for how you can use your mind and your body to like change your life around. And it's apparent if anybody knows you or has ever talked to you outside of this, or they'll meet you outside of this, and they'll have a little more background on like why you're so passionate about what you do. So in short, what he's saying is take care of your body. If you take care of your body, it'll take care of you. If you take care of your mind, then you can take care of you better, then your family better, then everybody around you better. So if you didn't get anything out of that today, or rather, if you did get something out of this today, then I hope that you could share this with other people. Please feel free to shoot us a DM. You could DM Anthony. You could DM us if you have any questions about how to just get started moving. You don't even have to come here. You don't have to work with us. We want you to just take care of yourself. Absolutely. And that's why we take the time to do these things, is we want to show you guys that it's possible to do all of this without having to invest into a program that is as as jam-packed as ours. You could do this on your own, and we're happy to help you every step of the way. So if you guys have any questions or anything specific you'd love to ask us, and please feel free to ask. We're always available to answer questions. And if you want to close it out, then you can.
I don't know how we're closing this one out.
First timer.
Yeah, I just get moving. Start with moving.
Moving.
Start with some movement, and then implement little diet changes. And if you want to change your life, if you're not happy, I recommend finding that release, that dopamine release. And for me, it's get moving. Just move a little bit and instantly happy.
Love it. Perfect. Awesome, guys. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys soon. I have some other cool guests that are going to be on here, but I think that this is a great one to kick it off with. So thanks, guys, for watching. We will talk to you soon. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to DM us.